every day and night.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Constitutionalist Podcast. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard. That's L-E-N-A-R-D. It looks French. It's not. It's Leonard without an O. Thank you for tuning in. As Graham Norton used to say on his show, let's get on with the show! For those looking on the 5 behind-the-scenes video channels, sneak peek videos, you will see, first let me say, this is a cheat intro again, kind of like I do on Saturdays if I'm presenting a video exclusive from prior, the same cheat. You'll see the same or hear on the 40-ish audio-only platforms, this same mini intro, but I am wearing the Book of Kennedy Project Carpe Diem book shirt because welcome to Books/Authors Week, just 1 week, for April of 2026. Prior, I had Books/Authors Weeks this time to get caught up on some back interviews of authors. I'm doing a singular Books/Authors Week for April 2026, Monday through Friday. Also, I want to say at the end of each episode, I will tack on one of my newer, more recent Suno created songs. If you remember, my dad, Ted Leonard Jr., the Polka Kings, tinyurl.com, the Polka Kings, to see that tribute page to him. He had a record deal. I used to write and record music the old way, get out a piece of sheet music and write out the actual song on the sheet music, the chords, the notes, the lyrics, but all my equipment's been long sold off, but thanks to Suno AI music system, I'm back to writing lyrics and releasing music again. Thank you, Suno. So each day, Monday through Friday of Books/Authors Week 2026, April, I will tack on a Suno-aided, created new song from Joseph M. Leonard, J. Leonard Detroit on Suno. So thank you to them, and I've already delayed things, so without further ado, let's get to an author. Joining me today is Timothy Ward. Before we get into who he is, why he's here, he's got a story to tell about Xfinity. Go ahead and say what you were saying in the green room.
Oh, Joseph, I love you already. Thank you, because Xfinity is driving me crazy.
They're up and down. And
for the second day, like I was on 3 shows yesterday. Today I'm booked for 3. And unbeknownst, they don't announce it. They're in my quote-unquote area playing with the lights. So I said, you got to be kidding me. So with the internet's going in and out and all of this crazy stuff. So to come here for you, Joseph, I just drove like a madman over to a business friend of mine's office to use. And I barely made it here for our 1 o'clock tea time here, as I call it, right?
Yeah, because 2 days ago, we were supposed to record, and there was a mix-up of time then, so it's like, oh, boy.
Yep. He's going to think I'm a nut job if I miss this one.
So, you were saying you got to tune into the Wi-Fi there, and, how can you set up? Where can you set up? What room can you set up in?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I just ran a marathon in about 32 minutes. I got the Wi-Fi wrong, and I'm like, he gave me the wrong Wi-Fi because the new place I just set up here so I can get on with you. And I must have typed that thing in 6 times. I'm like, oh, no. Oh no, he gave me the. Anyway, God bless us. Here we are.
Yeah, thanks. Somebody doesn't want us to record.
Hey, that's one way of looking at it.
All right. At any rate, so Timothy Ward, The Goat Within book, as long as it isn't the sheep within, we've got enough sheeple on the planet.
Oh,
right?
yeah, we do.
So, if for nothing else, I wanted you on so I could make that lame pun.
You know
We're
what?
done now. Bye-bye, everybody. No?
You know what? You just made me think. Maybe I should have called the book The Lion Within.
They're right.
You know?
Exactly. The next edition, right?
Absolutely.
You can write it. Well, there's short stories, there's novella, there's novelette, then there's novel. I invented the novel EXT for extended.
I love it.
Because if there's a novella and a novelette is shorter than the average novel, a novel X would be like the director's cut. You could do The Lion Within as an extended version, expanded version, or novel EXP for expanded. You could do an expanded version of The Goat Within, call it The Lion Within.
Oh, you know what? You're getting me thinking now.
Yeah, add some extra chapters to that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, indeed, at any rate. But before we get into The Goat Within, about lifespan, longevity, and fitness, let's do the proverbial Christian show, pun intended, Proverbs. Proverbial first question. Where were you born and raised? Where are you now? Significant places you've been in between.
Sure.
How much time you spent in prison for what? All that nitty gritty.
You did your research.
Yeah, for the record, he's laughing. He knows it's a joke. It's a joke. I'm just joking. But yeah, where are you born and raised and all that stuff?
So I'm coming to you right now from a beautiful coastline up in New Hampshire, where I was born and raised. Rye, New Hampshire, Newcastle, New Hampshire, little seaside town north of Boston, about maybe an hour north of Boston, Massachusetts. Everybody knows that, right? And I'm south of Portland, Maine, which would be the next kind of big city. Portland, Maine is about 50 minutes north of me. So I'm right in the middle. Absolute live free or die state of New Hampshire. Love New Hampshire. It's where I'm raised. It's where I know lots and lots of people. In particular, the coastline here. When people come here from all over the world now, New York, Europe, Canada, Boston, they come here thinking it's going to be a little, cow, fields and cows and, pigs and, where all the shotguns and the pitchforks, and they come here and they're like, wow. This place is right on the ocean, 16 miles of coastline, absolutely gorgeous. And this area has absolutely exploded in growth, unfortunately. It's okay for a little growth, I get it, but it is really the epicenter in the Northeast, or one of the epicenters, where prices of real estate and houses and buildings going on. It's at such a fever pitch, you wonder, how long can this go on for? My family, I've got my grandfather, great-grandfather that lived here. They were lobstermen, little boats. That's how they made their living. That ran up all the way to my older brother was a lifelong lobsterman. So we carried that tradition on. I'm probably the one that broke it. I eat lobster. I tell people I'm so sick of lobster. I had it my whole life, right? But people are fascinated with lobster, New England lobster, all that sort of stuff. We grew up in that town where it was little, small, Newcastle, New Hampshire, small little town, blue collar, a couple fishing piers, and tiny. It's a little island in between Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and Rye, New Hampshire. If anybody cares to look it up quick on Google or whatever, you'll see this little island. About 900 people live on it, connected by two little bridges. My mom's an artist, very well known around here, painting different landscapes and all that sort of stuff. I guess I had that small town experience growing up. Once it was discovered, the houses here, beautiful house on the ocean when I was young. I just turned 61 last week. I remember as a little kid, delivering the newspaper, all that stuff. You could buy a house for 80 grand on the ocean. Now, those same houses are going for 6-7 million and more. So you sort of itch your head. Is that what is that? Is that really how much the dollar has devalued over,
No,
you know,
it has devalued a ton, but I don't think that much. We're in for another bubble burst again.
I agree.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Every life is a story. Some just end too soon. Ryan's life unfolds through words on paper, dreams of youth, love discovered, and the challenges of growing up. He found purpose in love, joy in family, and meaning in every small moment. But even the strongest hearts can break, and sometimes life takes unexpected turns. Through laughter and loss, Ryan leaves behind something greater than memories, a lasting legacy. A short story, A Lasting Legacy, by Joseph M. Leonard. A moving reflection on life, love, and the stories we leave behind. Available on Amazon in ebook, paperback, and hardcover editions. By Joseph M. Leonard.
Housing is so overvalued again. I
Yep.
fear another 2008 because people will, when they correct, people will be underwater in their mortgage. In like 2008, they'll walk away. Banks will be holding a bunch of foreclosed properties.
Yep.
So hopefully some things can be done in the interim so that it eases down, doesn't collapse. But I want to say the dog is trying to steal the show. We could see him in the mirror there.
Oh, that's my buddy. That's his dog. I'm using his place right now. So
yeah, we could see him in the mirror on the door there, trying to steal the shot there.
Hi, Theo. Theo's protecting me.
He's got your six, apparently. All right. So give Theo a hug for us when we're done.
You bet. You bet.
Tell us about The Goat Within. What was the genesis? Another Christian pun, right? The genesis of the book.
Well, it's funny, for you. So I've been involved in sort of a long story. Let me give you just the quick background of how I ended up being an author of what now is a best-selling book now. Unbeknownst to me at the time of writing it, it's the first book I ever wrote. But let me tell you how I got there. When I was young, sounds like a song. When I was young, pretty tough upbringing, pretty heavily abused, physically beat up in the hospital from my dad. Both my older brother and me and my mom, unfortunately, really had some tough years. In today's world, he'd be straight car ride to prison, right? But back in the 70s, early 70s, it was a different era, all that sort of stuff. And so between the beatings, between the black eyes and the busted lips and all that stuff, I was naturally good at athletics at a young age. And that became my safe place. That became my happy place. I was obviously, as a young kid, 6, 7, 8 years old, a world of hurt. I didn't know what to think of it. I just know there were a lot of tears, a lot of crying, a lot of hurt. So once I picked up a basketball or a baseball, man, I was good at it. And it felt like, wow, people are actually cheering for me. My buddies' parents are like, wow, you scored 40 points and you this and you. So it felt great. And of course,
positive attention that you weren't used to.
It wasn't used to because I lived in fear. I lived in tears, really worried to even say something wrong. Right. So that became something that all I wanted to do was play sports, obviously. And so it became a year-round thing for me. And I was good at the football, basketball, baseball, soccer, you name it. And so I was, 364 days a year. That's all I wanted to do. And that progressed into, grade school and then junior high and then into the high school years. But I got scouted by a couple minor league baseball teams, the Paw Sox and all that sort of stuff. And it was right around when I was 17 years old that I had an okay game, and the scouts were at this game, and the beatings were still not frequent, but the mental stuff started to happen, screaming, telling me I was a loser, telling me just awful stuff, right? And so one night, coming home, 11 o'clock at night, I just got the absolute tongue lashing because the Red Sox, minor league team, they cross you off the list because you didn't have a good game and you're awful and all that stuff. Well, I lost it. I lost it in the car ride home from Dad, and did some pretty unsavory things physically, and just exploded as a young man. I couldn't take it anymore. Watching my mom get beat up, all the bad stuff we've heard stories, and I lived it, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that have had it worse than me in those situations, right? So that was the last time the guy ever laid hands on me. And I saw fear in his eyes because some of the things I told him I was going to do to him if he ever touches me or my mother again.
Well, that's usually what a bully needs, right?
Yeah.
A bully
Yeah.
remains a bully till he's stood up to,
Yeah.
and because we don't know it at the time, but as we grow older, I've had Bullseye the clown on. He became a clown out of bullying, and hence his name, Bullseye.
Bullseye, yeah.
The bully. It's and I go into it to a degree in the Book of Kennedy project, Carpe Diem. Natasha, who bullied Kennedy, right? It's an insecurity in the person that causes them to lash out at others to deal with their low self-esteem.
Right.
But you don't know that in that time and place.
Yeah, at 7, 8, 9 years old, you can't think of you don't have the smarts to think about that stuff. You can't cope with it, right? So by the time I was, in my middle teens, I started, okay, this isn't going to happen anymore. To move on, from that situation. So naturally in athletics, when you get to that age of your, 14, 15, 16, certainly 17, your performance becomes more important to keep climbing the ladder in the athletic pyramid. So that meant training, working out, hitting the gym, all these different, things that we would do. So obviously I went in like 99.9% of kids that age, even today, they go do it incorrectly. So I started to work out, and really one of my motivations was I wanted to physically dominate my father. And so it was coupled with wanting to be a better athlete, all that sort of stuff. So that went on, and I got scholarships into, Division III and Division II colleges for basketball, right? And I kept my training going in the gym, fitness-wise. But it wasn't until I was in probably my late 20s that I
can't pass, but Spike Lee tells us white men can't jump, right? I had to throw that in. Sorry, go on.
He's right to a point, but some of them can really jump, and I was one of them that could jump. That's funny. I was very serious about my health and fitness, and it felt good to be strong and all the things that I guess a lot of young guys, even in their 20s, 30s, we want that, right? So I was just a little bit hyper about it because it felt great. But I started to plateau. I couldn't really get anywhere with my training. And then I met an exercise scientist and told me I was doing everything incorrect. And I was like, what are you talking about, Liam? It's just going into the gym. It's just work.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Joseph M. Leonard, host of Constitutionals, taking a brief moment to thank myarchit.com. Together we share the Christian and family value of honoring family. myarchit.com helps you do that. Preserving family memories online also, therefore, can be shared online. Think of myArchit like a Noah's Ark for images, audio, video, preserving, honoring your family. Thank you again to the folks over at myarkit.com.
He sat me down, and in about 2 hours, I was speechless at the depth of science involved with fitness and working out and all the things that society thinks fitness is and working out is. I got to tell you something, Joseph. It is the most misunderstood thing under the sun. It really, really is. And so my trek went into exercise sciences, exercise kinesiology, some education. I ended up working with some PhD guys, really, really bright scientists, researchers, and completely immersed myself into the science of fitness. Fitness doesn't mean just lifting weights. It really means nutritional sciences, cardiovascular sciences, and what I ended up really learning is rest and recovery. Those are big time components, right? So a lot of people wanted to work with me. You know, I've been doing this for 30 years, right? So I started to work with people and got pretty popular in terms of training people and working with people. So what happened is I really started to understand, you know, what a brand really was and how you can connect with people to really, really address real health issues people are having. And this is one of the reasons why I wrote the book. So
in your bio though, it says like translating all this into words was challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And it's how do you turn all that, especially physical things and working out? And are there indeed illustrations and images in the book to help the words depict what needs to be done?
You know, that's an absolute fantastic question. And the answer is yes, there is, but it's even better because I do have a few QR codes in the book, which my publisher loved. He said, man, that is such a great idea. So, you know, we go into it a little bit, but the honest answer is it's such a massive body of work. You couldn't possibly write a book to cover all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
it would be way too long. It'd be War and Peace. It would cost too much. Nobody could afford to buy it. So you do like I do. You include bonus material in the book. You said QR codes that'll take you to additional things online. I do that with all my books too. I provide links. I didn't think. I'm a former IT guy, and I'm not putting QR codes in my books. It's like, duh. Yeah. I should be doing that, obviously. And now going forward, thanks to you, I will. Yeah. But
it was pretty cool because my publisher, who's got really, really deep experience in the industry, he was like, wow, that really makes the book interactive. And I said, exactly, because my mission is really, really to get society to understand this stuff at a simpler level, yet executable, something that they can really start to understand what it means. So I really thought a lot about the name, the message. There's a lot to it. It really challenged me. It's just what I'm asking people to do in fitness and in their health, right?
GOAT is obvious. People associate that with sports. And in fact, I don't know when this will air, but full disclosure, we're recording in December of 2025. So this will probably air in 2026. I think out now or out soon, there's a movie called GOAT or something like that.
It's
an animated thing about a goat that's too small but wants to play basketball or whatever.
Oh, wow.
But back to the QR thing, I at least finally got smart enough to put QR codes on my business card, but I don't have them in my books yet. So, there's an animated movie coming out
Interesting.
with a story. So we all associate GOAT, of course, greatest of all time.
Greatest of all time, right?
Acronym there with sports related things, and hence my sheep joke at the beginning. So
here's some stuff. So my website also, and we'll get to that address here in a little bit. Also has a lot of information on the website. So obviously those links are in the book and all that. So people can kind of go on a little bit of a journey. They can take it as far as they want. But here's the bottom line. Society, especially the U.S., there is an absolute tsunami that's growing bigger and bigger every year. People are really, really sick and nosediving into decay, especially people that are 45, 55, 65, 70. That's the age group where people really start to lose their physicality. And there's a reason for that. And the book really covers about it. The book isn't all about working out. A third of it is about the toxic world we live in. And so I go into that for people. That's the first thing I teach them. Listen, you have to understand that the mass-produced food industry is loaded with toxins that literally take years to tear your body apart. It starts showing up in your 40s and 50s. We're resilient when we're 15, 20, 30 years old.
Yeah.
So this book and my whole brand, Lifestrong, is geared to take 45 to 75-year-old men and women, and I build ecosystems for them. So, and I mean, like, you want to turn the ship around and add 10 years, 15 years to your life the right way. This is what we do for people, and we are busy. And
I'm a former IT guy, the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. And this case, garbage in creates a garbage body. Yes.
There you go. So this is a typical visit to the doctor. I train a lot of doctors, and it's not just in the U.S. anymore. It's in Italy, Singapore. So I do a lot of online work where I customize stuff for people. I literally videotape custom workouts for them, narrate them, so they get this silver platter of stuff customized to them. And a lot of people that are executives and really want answers. And I give it to them, and we really drill down and deliver them an incredible ecosystem. All right. So here's you go to the doctor, right? This is so typical. And you look at the 3 or 4 big markers that they always talk about, right? Diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. You do all your checkups and all that stuff, right? And let's look at the stats on some of those things, right? So we know that high blood pressure adds about 20, maybe 25% increase to early death, your lifespan, right? We have type 2 diabetes, which is all caused by food. All this stuff is all caused by toxic food, by the way, right? Type 2 diabetes is around 30% increase in early death, right? Dying young, right? You go to high blood pressure, it's about 30, maybe 34%. And so you check all your vitals and all that sort of stuff. And, they'll either put you on pharmaceuticals, which please avoid them, everybody that's listening to me. It is a slippery slope, and it's not the answer, okay? So smoking, if you're a smoker, and this is all published in the, New England Journal of Medicine, JAMA, all these publications, all these studies I'm talking about. Smoking, you have a 50% increase in your mortality, okay? 50% increase in higher risk of early death. All right, those are staggering. Those are big numbers, so you have to manage them.
Yeah.
But here's what they don't tell you, Joseph. Here's what they don't, and this is all published. These are all published studies. If your muscle and strength is in the bottom 20 to 25% of your age group, you have a 250% rate of early death. If your heart and lungs are in the bottom 20% of your age group, you have a 400% increase of early death. Think of those numbers compared to what everyone's scared about. This is why longevity and wellness are becoming a very, very strong thing right now, because people are starting to realize, listen, how quick did these 50 or 60 or 70 years go by in a blink of an eye? So if somebody says, listen, you could add 10 years to your life, and there's really a formula to do that, right? They listen. And once they start to understand there's a system in place that you can literally start to turn the ship around and start to add years to your life. And that's what we do at Lifestrong. And that's why I wrote the book, The Goat Within. It's all about this stuff. And it's not a ghostwriter that wrote the book. I'm the guy on the floor that has worked with well over 1,000 people. My sample size is so big in terms of how many men and women I've worked with and taught them a system that I've trademarked called the fitness quadrant. And it's 4 phases of fitness and how it applies to you if you want a strategy on really how to press back against longevity, early death, right? You have to have a blueprint to do it. You just can't go to Planet Fitness for $10 a month, get on a treadmill a couple times a week, maybe, or at
Not
random.
that hurts.
No, it's not that it's bad. No, you're right. I don't want to minimize it.
It's better than,
Yep.
full disclosure, better than me with my health issues sitting here on the couch far too much. I don't have a gym membership whatsoever. 90-pound weakling, 167-pound weakling, unfortunately. But I had TAVR heart surgery this year, so I'm finally at least now getting up and going for walks on occasion.
Okay.
So but before with the heart issue, I couldn't do that.
Right.
I couldn't make it down the block without having to stop and sit down.
Right.
So,
which brings up a great point that I talk about in the book, and I talk about when I'm starting to do public speaking gigs now for small companies. That's starting to, really get to be an interesting thing. Emails I get from companies saying, hey, we'd like you to speak, because you start talking about productivity, less sick day, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, the sedimentary lifestyle of everybody, right? It's a benefit to not only the employee, but the employer, because, as you're suggesting, them being healthier and in better shape, less sick days, less, more energy while at work and all that.
It's the roots of your entire life, your health and vitality. It really is. Everything comes back to that. And the stronger, more healthy, more vibrant you are, you're a better spouse, you're a better parent, you're a better worker, you're a better business owner, you're better in your society. You add more to it. And I talk about that in my speeches where, fitness gets channeled into this little workout thing. It's much bigger than that. When you take a bigger view of it, you're talking about tectonic plates moving in your life. And the thing about it is there's an exact science on really how to do it properly. And there's an entry point for everybody. People that have never worked out before or never really focused on it, I love those type of people, because they're the ones that want to do it, but they're intimidated. They don't want to go into a gym. Maybe they're overweight. They're a little embarrassed. I love taking people like that because they're open and they know they have to make a move when they're 40, 50, 60 years old. Those are the decades, man. If you're not doing something, right around 72 years old is when it is really clear. That's when people fall off a shelf. So I'm trying to get people to avoid that and make the right decisions, the right choices. You just can't eat right and expect to really add a lot of longevity to your life. You'll add a little bit. You can't just do resistance training, right? Light workouts. You can't just do that. You can't just do cardiovascular work. This is a combination of 4 major phases of fitness. And each one of those components in my fitness quadrant, right, they have a big drop-down list of science underneath them. I do all that work. People just look at that quadrant and I tell them this is an easy plan how you can enter into this little ecosystem I built for you. And then guess what happens? About 8 to 9 weeks in, they start to feel the effects like, wow, I'm sleeping better. I've lost 7 pounds. I feel stronger. People are saying you look different. Then 12 to 18 weeks hits. Oh man, that's when they hit a phase, what I call in the book, and I call in the real world with a lot of clients I work with, that is called fitness momentum. They've put those 4 pieces together the right way, the right diet, the right lifting some weights, the right cardio work, the right rest and recovery, that's when the synergy starts to really pull. And then we have other things that we can add to that. People are talking about, I don't know if you've heard or seen anything, Joseph, on peptides, but I'm certified level 1. I'm getting my second certification in peptide therapy. We work with a peptide company. I'm telling you, anybody listening to this, it is going to wipe out the supplement companies. Supplements are, they've been around forever, and they've really gone so far overboard with their promises and guarantees, and it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You take it in a pill or a tablet or a drink, and a few of them are good. Most of them, they really don't do much.
Snake oil. Yeah, most of them are snake oil.
They really are, so peptides, they are messengers. They're naturally occurring in your body, and we lose our ability to produce them as we get into our 40s and 50s. I'm telling you, we're doing a whole series on peptides on our website now. We're rebuilding that part of the website. So by January, by the time people hear this, I beg you to go on and listen and learn. Education is number one. You have to have knowledge, and this is what we do for people. We do a lot of one-on-one work. We do a lot of husbands and wives. We do a deep dive, and I tell you, I'm blessed. I feel like God put me on the earth to do this, and it's a big turnaround from me getting beat up when I was 5, 6, 7 years old to being 61 and now having a brand where I'm helping people. I'm not beating them up, right? And it's full circle for me.
Yeah, I go in the terror, not the terror strikes, the book of Kennedy, Project Carpe Diem, talking about bullying. You wouldn't, as bad as it is to look back on, you wouldn't be who you are and where you are today, though. Without it, you would be a different person. So I don't like to say there's a positive to it, but I think you understand without it, you would be a different person. So indeed, what is that website for people to look for more info and to reach out to you? You mentioned Livestrong. So if I were a betting man, I would bet that might be the name of the site.
It is. There's a couple ways to get to my site. Very good, Joseph.
I honestly didn't know that.
No,
I didn't look it up. But so it's intuitively,
it's livestrong.net. Okay.
Okay.
And you'll see about the fitness quadrant. I've got some freebies in there, but there's a lot of information in there, and people can get in touch with me through there. And my whole mission is to really help people that want to do this right. A lot of people don't want to do it right. They sort of skip through it. And
hey, we're all looking for cheats. We're all looking for hacks. I mentioned most supplements are snake oil, but with my health conditions and that, I can't show you, but there's a dozen pill bottles over there. There's another dozen bottles of supplements over there. So
it's a journey. Some supplements are good, right? So I have all that on my website here. Some choices you may want to think about. I have that. We set up home gyms for people. So I have a list, very inexpensive to set up a little workout area. And we actually have videos for at-home workouts, real basic, and we can get real complex if we want to. But this is the way we're reaching out and trying to get people engaged in their health and longevity. And it's been going very, very well. The other thing is the book. Go on to Amazon. If the spirit moves you, go on. It'll be the best $18 you ever spend, and just read through it. I promise you're going to get stuff out of this book that are going to make you think, maybe I should start doing a few things here. Maybe I can't handle it all at once, which is fine. But just to trigger people to think about it a little bit, I think is a key issue. We don't bite. We just love when people communicate with us. And of course, when we dive into really write an ecosystem for people, we are all in for them. We want them to succeed and really change their trajectory of their life. And I ask everybody, once you're with me and we're doing this training, please share it with your loved ones, share it with your kids, your spouse, get them engaged, pass on the light. Now I will tell you, with your podcast, Joseph, one of the reasons I was really interested to connect with you is my entire life, on top of the abuse and all that stuff, I always got told that, church was evil and it was bad and it's all this bad. So I grew up thinking, what is it? Stay away from those Bible thumpers and all the stuff, right? Well, let me tell you something. I got baptized 4 years ago, and I am a full-on Christian. I absolutely am amazed at how comforting it is.
Oh, you're talking physical health. It's part of better mental health.
Absolutely. Yep.
Really. And I was going to close out with a joke. And since we're talking mental health now, and faith being a good, strong part of that. Thank you, Timothy, straight from the mental ward, for coming on. For the benefit of the transcript, he's laughing. It's a joke. We're laughing. Right? The book is The Goat Within. The site is lifestrong.net. Timothy Ward, and guest appearance by Theo the dog.
That's right. I'll say hi to Theo for everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care. God bless.
You bet. Thank you, Joseph. God bless you. Bye-bye.
As a family friend, I cannot wait to meet thee. I feel already know ye. They waited and prayed, watched the calendar turn. Now a brand new heartbeat has made their whole world turn. Little hands and tiny feet, a gift straight from above. God already knew you, formed you in His love. We anxiously await thee, little one so dear, a blessing in the making, your arrival drawing near. For Leon, legacy lives on, a new page in the story. The journey's just begun. Respectfully, in family tradition, your gracious mom and dad will try their best in life, so nothing good you'll be missing. Salutations for Leo, congratulations to mom and dad. No doubt you'll be a stellar future college grad. Legacy continues, shining bright and strong. With God's hand upon you, you can never go wrong. They'll teach you how to pray, how to love and how to give, how to stand up tall, even when life makes you bend. Rooted deep in faith, in the values they hold true. Every hug, every lesson points your heart toward what is good, so good, proper life to live. From the ones who came before you to the ones still yet to be, the chain of love keeps rolling. Now it rolls through thee, a Christian home, a praying heart. That's the greatest gift of all. Little Leon, welcome. Answer heaven's call for Leon. Legacy lives on, a brand new chapter written underneath God's dawn. Your gracious parents smiling, doing all they can, so in this life you'll miss nothing good, my little man. Congratulations, Mom same. Legacy continues in this boy so new. We thank the Lord above for bringing him into view. Legacy continues. Welcome to the world, sweet Leon. Legacy continues. God bless you, little one.
Hectic living. We went from brother, can you spare a dime? Nowadays, brother, can you spare some time? Fast-paced, hectic days need return to simpler ways. Get it quick, need slow it down. We're lost and need be refound. Can we turn it around? We went from breadlines to deadline. From brother, can you spare a dime? To brother, can you spare some time? Get it quick, need to slow it down. All this gold can't buy solid ground. Fast-paced hearts skipping every sign. We're losing ground. Brother, can you spare some time? Screen glow midnight, eyes still wired, chasing every little fire. But the hot chocolate's gone cold, the kids outgrown, and we missed it, scrolling on our phones. Get it quick, need to slow it down. All this gold can't buy solid ground. Fast-paced hearts skipping every sign. We're losing ground. Brother, can you spare some time? Maybe trade this rush for a walk round the block. Talk like we used to talk. Hey, counting blessings, not the overtime, just your hand in mine. Get it quick, need to slow it down. All this gold can't buy solid ground. Fast-paced hearts skipping every sign. We're losing ground. Brother, can you spare some time?
Complex beings, yeah, we bend, we break, we mend. We got moods, we got ranges, quick flips, strange rearrangements. Seasons shifting in our skin, quiet storms behind a grin. One word, whole day changes, heart rewrites its own pages. We're just complex beings, that's what we are. Puzzle piece hearts, little bite-sized scars. We got ups, we got downs, still we stick around. On a dime, we can turn it all around. Complex beings, tangled and true. Half of me running, half running to you. Complicated, yeah, the book spells out the reasons, but I love you through the chapters and the seasons. You're a sunrise, you're a shutdown, you're a soft laugh in a letdown. You go quiet, then you're singing. Every mood, every shade, still clinging. I'm a question in your doorway, You're an answer said the long way, both hands full of tiny trees, and still we stay through the reasons. We're just complex beings, that's what we are. Puzzle piece hearts, little bite-sized scars. We got ups, we got downs, still we stick around. On a dime we can turn it all around. Complex beings, tangled and true. Half of me running, half running to you. Complicated, yeah, the book spells out the reasons, but I love you through the chapters and the seasons. Complex beings, we have moods, we have ranges, seasons and changes. We have ups and downs, on a dime can turn it around. Complicated, the book spells out some of the reasons. Complex beings, we got moods, we got ranges, little storms in our teacups, whole climates, seasons and changes. We go quiet, we go wild, we go tender then tough. One word, one look, one moment can be way too much. We're just complex beings, breathing, trying to make some meaning from all these turns and twists inside. We fall apart then realign. We're just complex beings, reaching, hearts cracking open, healing. We got ups and downs, on a dime can turn it around. Oh, some days I'm the hero, some days I'm the doubt. I'm the riddle and the rumor, and I'm still working it out. Complicated like the book spells out some of the reasons. Every chapter, every scar, every quiet little treason. So if I change in the middle of a sentence, if I laugh when I'm breaking down, that's just all my different versions showing up at once right now. Hey, we're just complex beings, breathing, trying to make some meaning from all these turns and twists.
Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help.
Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist Podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.
Stand up for what is right. Loves God and shares his message every day and night. Believes in freedom and making his voice heard. Sharing his message over all the earth. God loves you, for all you do. Stand strong and God bless you.